Okay everyone, welcome back to the Long Dark. We are here in the farmhouse exactly where we left off at the end of the last video, and we have pretty much completely through the town of Milton, so we are a little bit stuck for things to do now. We've been through the farmhouse, we've pretty much looted everything, we're carrying quite a lot, we're pretty encumbered. If we just have a quick look at the backpack, we're not that bad actually. It's not too bad. It's a little bit better than I thought. So we've pretty much been through everything. We've been around the whole farmhouse. There isn't very much in here. So let us make our way back. Now, the only slight downside with this is there are a lot of wolves around this area, so we've got to be a bit careful. Let's head out. I also didn't look at the time before I did this, so... well, actually, no, let me rephrase that. I didn't look at the time in two different ways. A, I didn't look at the real time, so this video could be any length. We'll figure that one out in a minute. And I also didn't look at the time of the in the game, so that whether it's going to go dark before I get back over to the grandmother's house. Doesn't look like it will. Okay, so what have we got round here? I kind of want to do a little bit of exploring, but equally, I don't want to go too far because I know there's lots of wolves around. Looks like there's a little bit of a ravine going off that way. Actually, before we do go back, let's just do a little bit of exploring around here, because we can always come back to the farmhouse if things go south. So let's... I'm just curious more than anything else about what's out here. Is there anything any interesting around here? No, it just goes around in the big circle, doesn't it? It's going to go back. Is there a cave or anything around here? No. No, thought that might be, but it isn't. Okay, fair enough. Well, it was worth having a nosy round here, I suppose. You never know what you're going to find. I suppose we could still find different...
something to eat.
Yeah, you'll be fine, don't worry. Okay, plenty of sticks. There's actually one of the saplings over there that we could harvest. But obviously I am carrying a pretty heavy load at the moment, so I don't want to... There's some reasonable materials over here. We've got cedar limbs, we've got things like that. Whilst I'm up here, I was going to do a little bit of mapping, wasn't I? Some surveying. There's the wolves, they're over there. So we won't go that way, we'll go over this way. This means we can't go and explore those little barns over there, but I'm sure we'll get the chance to do that. No, I was going to do a little bit of mapping, just so that we can try and establish what's going on around Milton, and spot things like cedar limbs and stuff like that, which are going to be useful for firewood. We could do with coming out and harvesting. That might actually be what we do next, is literally just head out and do some harvesting of resources like firewood and things. I think I can probably just can I straight line it? Can I just get round this and straight line it? Yeah. I think this pretty much will take us back to where we want to be, I think. There's some more saplings here, which would be pretty useful to harvest. I don't know what kind of... These ones are a little bit closer to base, so I'm tempted to harvest one of them and haul it back. Because these are what you can use to craft bows and arrows. It's a maple sapling. I'm going to harvest it. How heavy is it? Oh, it's actually not very heavy. Oh, okay, that's fine then. We'll have them both. That's okay. It pushes us a little bit more over our weight, but that's fine. And we've got some rose hips here as well. So I'm just gathering resources. So we're making our way back over to the Grey Mother's house. That's the plan. So that we can figure out what we're going to do next. But also, just gathering resources on the way. We're a bit short of long-term food supply. So anything that's natural, anything we can use as a natural food reserve, I'm going to take. So there's cattail stalks and things like this. I'm just a bit worried about my weight. I'm carrying quite a bit, so I don't want to go... Oh, I ain't going to get up there. Let's go this way. So this is a route I've not taken before. I'm not going to bother any more cattails just at the moment. I think I might come out and do a natural resource gathering run. But before we do that, let's just do some surveying. There we go. So that fills in the gap between the two bits we'd already done. And you can see the resources. We've got some old man's beard, we've got cattails all the way up here. And over there we've got various bits and pieces as well. So that's actually pretty cool. So I think what we might do then is a natural resource gathering run. We'll come out, we'll come back down to this river, and we'll gather up all of these resources. But right now I'm a little bit overweight, so I'm not going to do it now. Let's get back to the Grey Mother's house and we'll ditch what we've got. The weather's looks like it's going a little bit downhill as well, so we'll get back to the Grey Mother's house and we'll come out with a pretty empty backpack. So we've got lots of carrying weight, and we'll try and gather up all the natural resources that we can. So sticks, firewood, cattails, reishi mushrooms, rose hips, anything we find that can be useful. I've done a fair bit already. Apparently when you hit a wolf you have to break into song. That's what you have to do. Okay, so let's run around this way then. The best fighting strategy for wolves is to run away. That generally is the best option. Although don't climb to ridiculously high ground that you then can't get back off, like I've just done. No, now's not a good time to get tired. Now is not a good time to get tired. Oh, tell me he's not snuck round. That would just be sneaky. He's gaining on us. He's gaining on us. He's gaining. He's gaining on us. He's getting closer. He's getting closer to us. And I can't sprint. Can I get in that house? Don't look back, just keep going forwards. There we go. Okay, we probably could have made it all the way over to Grey Mother's house, but I didn't want to risk it. Okay, so we have been in this house already. It's actually not a bad house, so we can probably camp ourselves in here for a little bit. It's not really a major issue. It's actually a pretty good house. It's actually quite a nice house. We've got a nice fireplace. We've got a bed. It's pretty well equipped. Well, there was obviously quite a bit in here when I came in and looted it. Obviously we've been in here already, so but we do have a reasonable amount of supply, so we can actually keep ourselves in here for a bit. So let us sort out our let's eat those banged up pork and beans, because they're 24%. That's pretty much as lowest I'd be willing to eat food condition wise. Any lower than that and you're risking food poisoning. We can also drink, because that will help with our weight as well, reduce our weight load. And if we can reduce our weight load, it's going to make our run back over to the Grey Mother's house a little bit easier. Okay, let's see if there's any housekeeping stuff. I think I'm going to overnight in this house rather than risk trying to get back through the wolves. Let's let the wolves wander off before we try and come. So I'm going to overnight here. Any bits of housekeeping that we can be doing? Well, we do need to do a bit of clothing repair, but I obviously haven't got my cloth and things with me, because that's all back in the Grey Mother's house. So not much. I've actually, though, having said that, have I got a sewing kit? Yes, I've got a sewing kit. We can harvest curtains, and that will give us cloth. So we can harvest curtains, we can harvest towels, we can harvest anything like that, and that will give us cloth. And we can use that cloth to make things. So we can use that cloth to repair our clothing, and we can also use it to make bandages, which are a pretty important resource to have. So let's use our time well and do a little bit of crafting, shall we? Shall we take all of it? We might as well. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to camp in here, hide away from the wolf, and we're going to get ourselves ready for some of our long-term survival stuff. So let's get rid of this flare. I don't want to set it off by accident. Okay, so we've got quite a lot of cloth. Let's see if we can do a bit of clothing repair. So this is one of the important strategies when you're going for long-term survival, keeping your clothing in good condition. So you can see the percentage has dropped to 25% condition. If we repair it, we need some cloth and we need a sewing kit. If we repair it, that's bumped it up to 65% condition. So I'm going to do it again, and that will pretty much put us up to 100% condition. There we go. So they're now in really good condition. Let's do the other pair as well. So this is one of our important survival sort of techniques, if you like. Keep all your kit in really good condition. 74% I'll do. I don't want to waste too much on one particular type of clothing. Whoa, that repair failed. Remember, there is a chance of failure whenever you do a repair. Oh, it failed again. It's a skill that you increase over time. The more you do it, the more chance you have of success each time. So we got that 63%. As it's an outer layer, I'll probably do it again. We'll get that up a little bit higher. Oh, it keeps failing. I don't want it to... No! I think you only... No, stop failing. I don't think you... Oh, it's gone dark now, so we're completely stuffed. Okay. Well, yeah, you can't repair in the dark, which makes sense. You always used to be able to in the versions of the long dark, but they brought that in now, so yeah, I think that makes sense. But yeah, repairing your clothes, it's important, keeping them in good condition, because there are several bonuses to keeping your clothes in good condition. First of all, they're better resistance for wolf attacks. If you get attacked by a wolf, your clothing's less likely to be ruined. If your clothing gets ruined, you can't repair it, so you lose it. So the higher the percentage of your condition of your clothing, the less likely it is it's going to hit 0%, obviously. But also, when you increase the condition, the benefits of the clothing increase as well. So you get better warmth bonuses and water protection and all that kind of stuff. So it's always good to keep it in good condition. Anything above about 70% is what I tend to aim for. So most of it, actually, to be fair, is not too bad. There's a couple, probably these two here, I as their outer layers, would like to try and bump up a little bit if possible, and things like that. So, but everything else actually in reasonable good nick. Right, I'm probably a little bit limited now because it's gone dark of what I can actually do. So let's see if we can find the bed. Let's just use a match just to find the bed. So I know it's not far behind me. There we go. Okay, so we found the bed. So let's we'll eat and drink. Let's just go into the food menu, sort by condition, and eat the worst stuff first. You're going to have to forgive me. I've been suffering from this sore throat coldy bug that's going round, and I keep randomly losing my voice. Hopefully that'll get better. Right. Okay. So I don't want to eat too much more because I haven't got very much with me, but that will keep me going. So let's sleep. I can probably do the full 8 hours. So let's go for a full 8 hours of sleep. You don't really ever want to do more than 8 hours, because if you do more than 8 hours, there's a risk of getting dehydrated. And if you get dehydrated, you're pretty much in trouble. You're going to start losing condition really, really quickly. So let's just drink. And what's our rest like? Rest looking okay. Let's eat a cattail stalk. That'll just give us a few extra calories. Hopefully that will get us through till morning, all being well. Let's just do 4 hours. I don't know if it'll let us sleep for 4 hours or if it'll wake us up fully rested a little bit earlier than that, but we'll see. And we woke up fully rested, but it has gone daylight, so that's all good. Okay, so we've camped ourselves through the night here. We are ready to go, I think. We could do a little bit more crafting and things, but don't think I'm going to bother. We'll head out. We'll get back to the Grey Mother's house and then we'll get ourselves properly sorted. So, hopefully, Wolfie has cleared off. Knowing my luck, he probably hasn't, but... Okay, let's get ourselves... moving. I am going to sprint a little bit here because I really do just want to get back to the Grey Mother's house now. Okay, got a bit of a headwind. We're looking okay at the moment. We are looking okay at the moment. No wolves. Let's get ourselves up to the house and get ourselves in. Okay, so we're back at base. Now, we have pretty much gone through the whole of Milton, but I think we will do this natural resource gathering expedition before we go much further. Okay, so what have we got that's useful? Well, we have got a whole load of books which we've been using as firewood, so let's get rid of all of those. I'm going to keep the 3. Oh, okay. I filled up my firewood container. Let's transfer what we can. And then we'll have to move into one of the other cupboards for the rest. So let's get rid of those. Transfer it all. Have I got any other firewood that I can get rid of? No. I want to keep those with me. I want to keep that accelerant with me. Cattail heads, yeah, that's fine. Okay. That's all good then, so we're not looking too bad there. We've got quite a lot of extra matches, again, that we don't need to be carrying around, but I've not been putting them in the cupboards, I've been dropping those on the work surface, so let's do that. We probably don't need to be carrying 2 boxes of wooden matches, we'll get rid of one of those. Got quite a nice little stockpile of matches over here, so we're not going to run short of them. Tinder plugs are okay for. Tools and equipment, we have a hatchet on the table, and we have a hatchet in our inventory. And we have a knife in our inventory, so we're looking good. We've got some rifle cartridges, we don't need those at the moment. We aren't hunting with the rifle. Spare lantern fuel, we'll ditch. We don't need to be carrying that with us. Any other tools and equipment that we're carrying around that we can drop here? Oh yes, we've got our 2 maple saplings, which we need to put out to cure. So let's drop our 2 maple saplings. Right, okay, so things like this, maple saplings, deer hides, things like that, we have to cure them before we can use them, and you have to do that by laying them out in an indoor location for a certain amount of time. So I'm going to pop these 2 here, you can see they're 1% cured, and we'll see how long it takes them to cure. Once they're cured, we can start thinking about using them for crafting. And the saplings you can use to make bows and arrows, that's what they're used for. Okay, so we've got some bullets. So let's pop.
Oh, I could eat a horse.
Yeah, that's fine, don't worry. There are no horses in the game, so you can't eat a horse. Right, just drop that there. Okay, so we're actually doing pretty well. We've got a hatchet, a spare hatchet. We've got a spare storm lantern, a flashlight, quite a lot of lantern fuel, a hunting rifle, quite a few cartridges, and we do have a flare shell. We haven't got the flare gun, but we've got a shell for it. Okay, and we've got quite a lot of fire starting materials. We've got quite a lot of bits and pieces, lots of matches. We've got lots of tinder plugs. Food wise, we're perhaps not looking so great. Water, we're okay for. Water's nice and straightforward in the long dark. That's not too difficult. What we're carrying is fine. What's stored in there is fine as a stockpile at the moment. What have we got food wise? Well, we don't have very much. We've got a little bit here, but not a fat lot. So I think what we're going to need to think about doing is a food scavenging run. We're going to have to go and do some hunting, I think, to sort that out. So what else am I carrying then? I have actually got some crafting stuff, and I've got obviously got quite a lot of reishi mushrooms, and I've got quite a lot of rose hips, and we can prepare those through the crafting system. So we go into crafting, we can craft those into prepared rose hips and prepared mushrooms that we can then cook into tea. So I think that's what I'm going to do quickly now. And this is a natural medicine and a natural food source, so we'll produce these and increase our stockpile. I've got a lot of reishi mushrooms here. I don't know how much we're going to get from this. Oh god, got even more. Oh, this is going to take a while. So this is a standard pattern to what I do. If you've never watched my videos before, welcome. This is a standard pattern to what I do. I go out, we do a scavenging run, we do a looting run, we go out somewhere, we bring everything back to the central base, and then we kind of do some housekeeping. We go through, oh, okay, so I could only do 1 lot of rose hips. But we now have in our inventory, somewhere, wherever they may be, a lot of prepared reishi mushrooms and a lot of prepared rose hips. So we can actually make tea with that. The next time we start a fire, we can make some tea, and that will come in really, really handy. For now, though, I'm going to pop them into the fridge. I know they're natural medicines, but I actually end up using them more as natural food and calorie sources, so I tend to treat them more as food than I do medicines. We do actually have some spare medicines, so I need to go and ditch that, but I'm not actually sure where have I been putting medicines. I don't think I actually have. I don't think I actually have a medicine area. I mean, there is a bathroom in the house, but I don't think it had a cabinet in it, did it? Ooh, slight graphical glitch there. Yeah, it doesn't actually have a medicine cabinet. I usually use, if there is a medicine cabinet, I usually use it. So it's fairly obvious where your medicine is, but nothing in there. So we'll keep it in one of the kitchen areas, I think. I don't know exactly where. Let's keep our medicine in this end cupboard. I've just got to remember that that's where it is. Right, so let's get rid of one of our bottles of antiseptic, and let's get rid of one of our emergency stims. We don't need to be carrying those around with us. Water purification I'll keep hold of, those I'll keep hold of and all that. We haven't actually got a massive amount of medical supplies, but we've got enough to keep us going if we need to. We also have some books that we can research, and I haven't really done any of that yet. So we need to start doing some research. Research skills at various things which will make things easier to do in the game. But right now we have come to the end of this video. So we have, what have we done today? Well, we have come back from the farmhouse. We've done a little bit of kind of exploring. We dodged the wolf. We've overnighted in one of the other huts. We've come back. We've ditched everything that we collected from the farmhouse. So next time I think what I'm going to do, we're going to go out and do that natural medicine collection run, or natural resource collection run. So we're going to go out and see if we can get any more saplings. We're going to see if we can go and get any more cattails, reishi mushrooms, rose hips, anything like that that's lying around, cedar limbs, fir limbs, anything that's lying around. We're going to try and gather it. We're going to bring it back here so that we can build up a nice little stockpile. Obviously with the saplings we can start thinking about making bows and arrows. We have a rifle, but it's nice to have a bow and arrow as well. So we can actually think about going and do some hunting. There's plenty of deer around on this map, so we're going to go and do that. And then I think we're going to start considering our options for heading to Mystery Lake. My plan at the moment is still to head to Mystery Lake and then come back here and bring everything back here, and I'm doing that purely just to increase the level of challenge. Normally what I would do is gather everything on one map. Once I'm happy that I've exhausted all the resources on that map and I want to go off to another one, I'll take what I need with me and I will go to the next region, and I'll then camp in that region for a while, and then I'll move to the next one and so on. But this time what I want to do is bring everything back here, and that's going to be a big challenge because this is not one of the central regions. Sort of Pleasant Valley and that kind of area tends to be the more central region in terms of the overall world. This is actually out at one end, so when I come to go off and explore places like Desolation Point, I've got one heck of a walk to get back here. But that's kind of what I want to do. I want to try and increase the level of challenge a bit. See if we can. We want to get to a 100-day goal, but we want to make it interesting. I don't want these videos to be repetitive. We want this to be an interesting game. So we're going to increase the challenge by trying to get everything back here. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be very, very interesting. But right now, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. As always, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. If you've got any comments or anything like that, stick them down there. I shall, of course, reply as best I can. If you need any tips and advice, don't forget the Long Dark tutorial series. That is on there, and I will be getting back on that and carrying on with that as well. But right now, I'm going to say, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you again very, very soon.